In this video, we're going to have a look at plotting coordinates onto a 4-quadrant grid. Coordinates tell us a position on the grid from the origin. The origin has a coordinate 0, 0 and is in the centre of our grid, typically where the axes cross. So in my case, it's just here. To plot a coordinate, I need to start at the origin and first make a movement left or right, followed by a movement up or down. The amount you move and the direction you moved in is defined by the numbers in the coordinate. Let's have a look at some examples. In my first question, I'm asked to plot point A, which has the coordinate 3, 5. The first number in my coordinate tells me how far left or right to go. If the number's positive, it means to the right, and if it's negative, it means to the left. In my question, I have the number positive 3, so that means move 3 to the right, like this. The second number in the coordinate tells me how far up or down to go. Again, if the number's positive, it means up, and if the number's negative, it means down. In my question, I have the number positive 5, so that means 5 up, like this. Now I know the position of my coordinate, I can put an X to mark the spot where it is and label it with the letter A. So now you can see the point A, which has the coordinate 3, 5 on my grid. Next, I'm asked to plot point B, which has coordinates -2, 4. Again, I start off at the origin, 0, 0, and then look at the first number in my coordinate, which is -2. Now remember, this tells us how far left or right to go, and this time, because it's negative, it means go 2 to the left, like this. Our second number is positive 4. This part of the coordinate tells us how far up or down to go, and again, because it's positive, this means 4 up, like this. Now that we know where our coordinate needs to go, I can again put a cross in, and this time I'm going to label it B. So on my grid you can see point B, which has coordinate -2, 4. In my third example, I'm asked to plot point C, which has the coordinates 0, -2. I need to start off at the origin and then look at my first number, which this time is 0. This means that I need to move 0 spaces left or right, so I can just stay where I am. The second number is -2. Remember, this tells us how far up or down to go. This time, because it's negative, it means move 2 down, like this. Again, now I've figured out the location of my coordinate, I can put a cross to mark the spot where it needs to go, and this time I'm going to label it C. So, on my grid, you can see point C, which has coordinate 0, -2. My last question asked me to plot point D, which has coordinates -4, -6. As with before, we start off at the origin and then look at our first number, which is -4. This means move 4 to the left, like this. Then we can look at the second number in our coordinate, which is -6, and this means move 6 down, like this. And as with before, once you know where your coordinate needs to go, simply put a cross and label it. So in this case, I'm going to call it D. So on the grid you can now see point D, which has coordinates -4, -6.